All right, this is gonna be a quick one because I'm actually prepping for a shoot, but this is a topic I really haven't covered, and that is the topic of spec work. If you're wondering, should I be doing spec work or should I be even getting into doing spec work in my free time? And if you haven't, then I would suggest absolutely 1000% go ahead and do it. You know, a lot of things come up when you think of spec work. For a lot of beginners out there, it might be, you know, what is it? So I hope to answer some questions and kind of motivate some people out there if you're not doing spec work to kind of do spec work. Let's start with the first thing, which is, what is it? Well, basically a spec work or a spec ad is where you take a reference from a brand and you kind of apply it into the story that you're creating in order to portray your story in the way that that brand would have told their story or sold a specific product in their ads. So going into the why you want to do this, well, if you are a filmmaker and you are trying to get seen by brands or you're trying to showcase people your abilities as a filmmaker, you're gonna want to do spec work. You're gonna want to show people the range that you have as either a director or DP or whatever you want to focus on. And you want to make sure that you're telling people that you are capable of selling a product, or more specifically, selling their product. And it also helps with attracting certain brands that you may want to work with. A lot of the times beginners ask me, how did you get to where you are as a creative, as a filmmaker? What do you do? How do you attract clients? The answer to that question 99% of the time is just shoot whatever you want to shoot to attract the type of clients that you want to work for. And one of the easiest ways that you can do that is by creating spec work. I recently did this spec ad with my friends. We just, group of creatives, we just all got together, decided that we wanted to do something as if we were making an ad for Gatorade. And we came up with this.
Oh yeah, it's game time. And when it's game time, your opportunities to make something happen are slim. You might get one race, one shot, one chance. And when the time comes, you know you're ready. Through countless workouts, shots taken, scores of takeoffs, it's all becoming second nature through repetition. Way before the game, before the race, when nobody's watching. Working out every scenario possible. So when the time comes, there's no wishing for a redo. Why? Because you won't need it.
And that was a super fun project. I absolutely loved shooting that project. I was in charge of directing and editing. My friend Juwan was the one that wrote the script. We had Alex and James, they were doing the DP work, and just the extras, which were actually like professional athletes, and they were freaking amazing. So we all got together and made this happen. But you see, my problem with spec work is that a lot of people just do a random video, slap the logo of a brand without actually purposefully or intentionally doing the research on the brand. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something that's part of the learning process of what you're doing in business-oriented filmmaking. So the main problem is that people miss doing research, and research is very important when you're trying to do a spec ad or when you're trying to sell yourself or your services. You need to do your research. You need to study the brand, you need to see what they have done before. You need to see their whole aesthetic, what colors they like to use, what scenarios they want to do. All these little things that encompass the mission statement of the brand and the overall essence of a brand. Like for example, you're not gonna do a Nike basketball shoe spec ad with a surfer guy. It just makes no sense. And you'd be surprised the amount of people that actually do videos like that and think that they're doing spec work. But this is not a video meant to bash anyone. This is a video meant to help people understand why creating spec ads or doing spec work is actually, in my opinion, a vital process in your filmmaking career. So as long as you do your research, also putting in your own twist, because you want to sell yourself in the end, you want to be looked at. The questions that you want to answer with your spec ad is this person talented enough to take on this project? Is this person willing to understand our brand and willing to portray what our brand is all about? And lastly, but still important, is this person creative enough to elevate our brand to the next level. And you do it and it comes out great. And the greatest thing about doing the spec ad is that nobody's actually telling you what you have to do. You have complete freedom and complete reign to do with the edit, with the story, with your actors, with anything you can think of that you want to do. There's zero pressure and there's nobody controlling that except for yourself as a creative. So in my opinion, it is 100% your vision as a creative, unfiltered, unprocessed, and truly I think it is what best elevates any creative, any aspiring director, filmmaker, DP into the next level and start doing better work. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I think about spec ads, and I think I'm good to go too. So catch you guys in the next video. Peace.